signed up to testify today. I'm guessing they're not on the agenda item, but we will obviously suspend the rules since we have everybody here to take that testimony. I will call you up in groups of 2. Please to come forward to right here, turn on the push button on the microphone. You get a green light like this, and you're free to talk. If you would just state your name for the record, and we have 3 minutes for each testimony. This time we'll call David Davis and Robert West.
So where do we go? I'll let you go first.
Okay. Yes, my name is Robert West, and I wanted to bring up the homeless issue. I know you guys know throughout the state there's a huge homeless problem, and it's getting worse and worse. But sweeping these homeless camps, you know, people think, well, hey, you know, they're trespassing or they shouldn't be there. When you sweep a homeless camp, what you do is you move them so people with resources that are coming in that's trying to help these homeless, they go to a so-called camp that's no longer there. So it's harder for these people to help these homeless when the police decide, hey, today's a good day to sweep a camp. You know, or we got nothing better to do, so let's sweep a camp. Also what happens is you got some people that are disabled, they can't move. You got people with PTSD, and the cops are running around like fascist goons, and you know, trying to get people out as fast as they can and stuff like that. And sometimes they use force and stuff like that to remove these people. And one of the big problems is yeah, you close down a camp, you force people to move. Well, you know, they got a bunch of stuff. How are they supposed to move it? You know, so they take their stuff down to another location, come back, and all their stuff's gone, thrown away. You know, and so then it starts all over again. Well, hey, I need clothes. Well, where's a good place to get clothes? Well, if I don't have any money, then what do I got to do? You know, I need food and stuff like that. So instead of hitting these homeless camps, what needs to happen is the city of Gresham needs to pull some of the money out of what they got and set up a shelter system or set up something where you can help these people to get to services that they need to get to, instead of just removing them out of the camps and having them set up a camp half a mile away or something. Because the sweeping of the camps don't work. I mean, Portland's did it for years. You guys did it for years. All that happens, they just go make a camp someplace else, and then 15 days later, they're back making up another camp. And the thing is, what good does that do? I mean, you wasted police resources, officers that could be out there catching robbers, rapists, child molesters, are out there watching homeless people move their camps. And that's a waste of resources.
Thank you. Sure.
So my name is David Keith Davis with Fight the Sweeps Portland, and I'm the founder of Multnomah County Cop Watch. And I was actually made homeless by the Gresham police about 2 years ago. Or actually, it's been longer than 2 years ago, but I was actually made homeless by the Gresham police in 2002. And this was when I was given a 15-minute emergency eviction when my child molester roommate called the police, made up a story, falsified a story that I pushed his wife, even though there was no marks or anything, and the police made me homeless. And so I was made homeless in 15 minutes by the Gresham police. I tried to explain the situation, that my roommate was a child molester and that I called him on his thing because a former roommate told me that he was watching pornography with his stepdaughter. The guy's name is Ian Andrew Gilderson. He's currently doing a 25-year mandatory minimum sentence, which, CPS, the police, everyone ignored, including Michael Erickson, who was actually the cop who forcefully evicted me in 15 minutes and made me homeless for 2 years, badge number 45955. He's actually a school resource officer, which is pretty disturbing that he told me when I tried to explain the situation, shut the fuck up. So I refer to this officer now as Officer Shut the Fuck Up. And the fact that he is a school resource officer who protected a child molester so he could rape his stepdaughter for an additional year and then made someone homeless in 15 minutes. Just because you see a homeless person out there doesn't mean that they put themselves in that position. Maybe they had a shitty roommate like mine that used the police, and this guy, you can look up Officer Gilderson. He's a Washington County deputy. He's also, that's his nephew, Ian Andrew Gilderson, and he used that. When the police showed up, he said, my uncle is a sheriff deputy, and so he used that to get me forcefully evicted. So, and this officer in Washington County actually threatened a Somalian guy and bragged about killing Somalians. So you could just look up him too, Officer Gilderson, and how he bragged about killing Somalians. So this is like a great little program when the police forcefully evict people, make them homeless, and then you guys are willing to spend like $12,000 on a little plastic fence to do your little social cleansing policy against the homeless.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Davis. Next two are Chris Cazzetto and Trina Sutton.
Communication problems. My name is Chris Cazzetto, and I am here to blast the city for its homeless policies. Basically, the city, in my opinion, has outright declared a covert campaign against the homeless, while it has neglected its moral and legal obligations to protect its most vulnerable citizens in this community. And so I'm here to open that door so that the homeless have a voice, because I don't believe that this city or this community has given that opportunity to the homeless. I've spent the past 6 months working with the city, attending meetings put on by the city in various community groups, and the result of that is very disappointing, to say the least. What I would like to see change in the city is to have a plan where the homeless can be involved in the process. I think that it's quite odd that the city and the community here believes that they can craft solutions without inviting all the partners to the table. And those partners that I'm speaking of are our vulnerable homeless community. I have yet to see the city reach out to the homeless community to bring them into work groups or open forums or any kind of speaking session. I have not seen the neighborhood associations, their partners, reach out to the homeless community to involve them in this process. Where is it that people like us, who have houses, who have more privilege, who have more advantages, can craft a solution for those who don't? We can't possibly understand what it is that they need and what they want. What we're doing, in effect, is telling them what they need and what they want. And that is part of the problem why these quote-unquote solutions aren't working. And so, again, I'm here today to open that door and demand that the city allow the homeless to speak and allow the homeless to be heard. And for those homeless people who have very weak voices and limited opportunities to make it to sessions in the city hall or offbeat locations not serviced by public transportation, I'm asking you to listen to them today. Half of this building is filled with homeless individuals, and I don't recall when this session started that people were briefed on filling out a speaking request form. And so what I'm asking the council today is that we extend the speaking time as long as necessary for each homeless person who wishes to speak to come up here and speak.
Thank you for allowing me to speak. My name is Trina Sutton. I am the chairperson for what is called My Backyard Transitional Community, which will be hopefully breaking ground, putting in infrastructure very shortly. My architect is also a Portland police officer. We have incredible people on our board of directors. The city of Portland has seen that this is very beneficial to take the homeless and give them a place of safety and put them where they can abide by a code of conduct and achieve what I've been watching them do for years. They are amazing people. Now, I was in this very room a few months back, and I pretty much like what I heard.